place I know. I have the power to let things go. I'm so lost I can't see the shore. You know what that means, we've been here before.
Well, hello there folks, I hope you're doing alright in your corner of the world. I'm doing pretty good today. Not a bad little office to work out of today. Conditions are super calm. I'm a little on the tired side, so I'm not going to go hard today. Nice short quick dive for me. First time out with the Deus II. So basically I'm going to try modern coins underwater, see what they sound like, hopefully find a few other things in the process. But I'm not going to find much if I keep sitting here. So let's get in the water, guys. I started off today's hunt with what I like to call the $3.85 test, taking one of each of our modern Australian coins with me, a total value of $3.85, to test what they sound like in diving mode on the XP Deus II. Now all these signals will sound the same as I'm using pitch tones, but this is a $2 coin. Let's see what the ID checks out as. Okie dokes, that's a pretty consistent 86 in diving mode, a little lower than what I would expect in park or beach mode. Next up we've got $1. And that one's ringing in an 87. These are really nice and clear sounding in the diving mode with the pitch tones. Time to swap that $1 for a 50-cent piece. These always give quite a strong signal because they're quite a large coin. Okay, that's ringing in a 78, 79. It's kind of borderline on the ID there. I would expect a 79 in park or beach mode. Now, next up we've got a 20-cent piece. And I was getting knocked about a bit here, but that's sort of a 74, 75. Actually pretty similar to what I'd expect in the other modes I typically use. Swapping out now for a 10-cent piece. It should ring in the 60s somewhere. Yep, 62, 63. Sorry about the camera work. A little bit difficult to balance all of these things at the same time. Last of all, we are swapping for the teeny tiny 5-cent piece, which I'd expect to be sort of 51, 52, and it's actually pretty consistent with that in diving mode. Excellent. That gives me a good idea of what to expect when I'm looking for these coins underwater. With my tests complete, I headed out to a deeper section of the bay. I was hoping to detect in an area that was roughly 2 meters or 6 feet below the surface. There were definitely signals here, I'm working on one as you can see, but however, the surge of the ocean had other plans for me this day. Keep an eye on the movement of that seaweed. I'm thinking I'm going to have to come back for that target another day. You can still see how much the water is surging around me. I was making my way back to the shallows when I spotted this cute little stingery on the way. He was no bigger than my 9-inch coil. Very cute little guy. Now that I've made my way through the underwater jungle, I can get back to some detecting in the shallows here. Let's see if we can find some targets. Oh, there's one. Turns out that the first target was actually a doozy. I've slowed down the footage to show you the ID. It was a low to mid 90s. Sounded amazing. I was hoping the ocean would let me have it as it was still throwing me around. Let's just fast track a little bit of this digging. You can kind of see how much of a fight I had to do to get this target. Now, the reason why I persisted is that most of our sinkers would range in the mid 80s. Anything in the 90s is more likely to be a promising target. Ooh, can you see that there? Here it is. And it turns out that's exactly what it was. Vintage 925 silver. Just wait till you see how well this thing cleaned up. Okay, the ocean kept tossing me around like a rag doll, so I've made my way completely back to the shallows now. Check out the beautiful bedrock that I'm working on here. Now, you'd think this looks completely flat and it wouldn't be worth detecting, but there's lots of little pockets and crevices around here. So typically you'll find things like sinkers pulling in them, but you just never know if there'll be something else there, and it's always good to get this out of the environment as well. So let's go on a little bit of a sinker hunt, folks. There's the first couple. With my tests complete and a pouch full of lead, it was time to get out of here for the day. I hope you enjoyed this adventure, guys. If you did, please drop a like. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Cheers, everyone.